remember the second video of this course? I said managers do not know how to manage. And if asked about management, they give very vague answers. Now, imagine a young fellow approaches you and asks you that very question. Situation is like, help me. I just got promoted to manage a team. How do I do this? How do I manage? Instead of giving answers, vague answers like, for example, it is your responsibility that your team members can develop their full creativity, or something like, as a manager, you must take care of the people who are doing that job you are responsible for. Instead of saying something like that basically limits the manager and just scares him, you could give a substantial answer. Leadership starts with an intention, something you want to or are supposed to turn to reality. So first thing you do, you analyze that intention, check if it is in conflict with other intentions, try to understand the core performance you have to deliver to turn that intention into a reality. Are there any terms and restrictions glued to that intention? Can you break it down into smaller steps? And when you have a decent understanding of that intention, of that task you're going to realize, you go on. And you start thinking about the world you're living in, your environment. So you know about the resources you have. And then you develop alternatives to realize that intention in that specific environment. And think about the world, how it will look like after you're done, when you have realized the intention. And after all that thinking and calculation and probably discussing with your team, you as a manager decide where to go, which alternative to go to realize, and document the reasons for your decision so you always can check if your arguments are still valid. In the course of time, it might change. And then you formulate what is called a resolution. The resolution tells you who is doing what with the following resources within a defined time frame and within a certain geographical space, if that is applicable. Well, and you do that in order to achieve your intention. That is your resolution. And the resolution tells you what to do. Now you know what to do. Next step is you have to explain your team and enable them to execute by informing them about the epic, the entire situation, the intention, the expectations you have to your team members. You have to tell them where to get support and how communication is organized. And that's basically it. That would be a good answer and a good starting point for further discussions. Why is it a good answer? It is a good answer because you're showing a way, you're giving a tool to solve a management problem. You don't give demands, you're giving a tool. And the young manager can decide to take that toolbox or not. She or he can ask questions about the toolbox. Can you explain this part a little bit better? Whatever your intention or your task is, when you follow it to an adequate extent, not even all of it, that scheme I just described, in my world, you have done an excellent job. Go home, sleep well, and don't worry too much because you have done everything someone could expect. You did your job. And this is also classic leadership. When you are done, forget about the next day. Classic leadership is about to know I have done my job. Assuming an intention or a task doesn't go too well, per definition, that is bad leadership. I said in video 4, what is leadership? The better you hit that described reality, the better is your leadership. Okay, tough but okay. So I'm responsible now and I didn't hit the predefined reality. Fine. I'm ready to take responsibility for that, and I can. Taking responsibility doesn't mean to look for someone you can nail to the wall in case of failure. Taking responsibility starts actually right at the beginning of your intention, right at the beginning of your tasks. And showing responsibility is to be able to answer questions so the learning process can start. Is there anything I could have done better? I'm happy to learn. And now you're in a constructive discussion about the matter. Where along the defined path was a mistake? And perhaps, yes, you might have been wrong in your assessment, or some information you had was wrong. Sure, that can happen. But you already proved accountability because you are capable to answer questions. And you're on top of the game because you followed that scheme. That should feel much better. And please allow me a personal remark. I really don't believe great managers are performed by a golden track of great success. Great managers are performed in situations when things are a little rough. See you in the next video.